I'm focusing on decluttering every square inch of this apartment. I think for many of us, the start of a new year really energizes and motivates us to start some big monumental project. For me, it's usually some sort of a wellness journey or redecorating a part of my house. I always take on these big, huge things right at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it's New Year's resolution based or just that energy you get from a fresh start at the beginning of the new year. But for me this year, it is going to be about decluttering my house. Yeah. I'm kind of filming this a little bit out of order. I have already started, but I wanted to film a little intro to give you some background in case you're new to my channel. I am a vintage reseller, meaning I buy old vintage and antique home decor and collectibles and resell them online on eBay and on my other YouTube channel, Mid-Century Wasted. And I love it. It's a great job. It allows me to work at home and be with my two boys, Bo and Brody, and it's really great. It's probably the happiest I've ever been working. I've had other jobs before and they haven't always gone so well. I haven't loved being in the workforce. Let's just put it that way. But this allows me the flexibility to do all of the home stuff that I need to do and be with my boys. The problem with this job is it tends to overflow and trickle into our home. And the clutter has been overwhelming me. It's been stressing me out, causing me a lot of anxiety. I don't like my home to look like this. This is not an HGTV show. This is not a magazine-worthy home. We're renters. There's a lot we can't change about this house that I don't really like, particularly decor-wise and just functionality-wise. But I know that if I get the clutter out of here and all the unnecessary boxes of my reselling items that have spread all over the house, I know it's at least going to be more peaceful. It'll be easier for me to clean and it'll just take a lot of stress, the daily stress away of like, where are the kids' shoes and what happened to your backpack in the morning, that kind of stuff. If there's not junk everywhere all over the house, things will just run smoother. And I know this, but it's just been a matter of getting it done. The cats are going crazy behind me. So this year, I'm really taking the time. I'm stopping everything and I'm focusing on decluttering every square inch of this apartment. Lots of times you'll hear me refer to this as our house. It's not a house, it is an apartment, but we are the front unit of a fourplex. So it's large. It's as big as a house, really. I think we have about 1,800 square feet, which is good. And it's a 3-bedroom. There's basically 2 living rooms, a kitchen, 2 full bathrooms to clean. And it's a good space. It's just, we're not utilizing it well. We do also have a 1-car garage that is filled to the brim and is also kind of part of Blake's, my husband's, domain, we'll say, but it's also lots of storage and outdoor kid stuff like bikes and things. I will walk you through the house to start this journey. I am going to be filming it all. Today, we are starting right off the bat though, before I walk you through the house, with taking a bunch of my reselling boxes and putting them into storage. That's how we're gonna start off. I do have a storage unit that's supposed to be for my reselling business. I have desperately been wanting to get rid of the storage unit, but for now, that's not possible. I need all of my inventory to be able to fit into my office here at home, and it doesn't do that right now. I need to first organize everything, get it out of my living space. We're gonna put it in the storage, and I will go through it a box at a time after the house is decluttered. Basically, that's what I've decided. It's for my own mental health. It might not be the best business choice because I'm paying $200 a month for a storage unit that I don't want to have. But overall, in the long run, I think it's going to be much, much better this way, to just get all of these things condensed in one spot and not spread out all over my house. So that's where we're going to start. Then we're going to give you a home tour and take down Christmas, because nothing refreshes the house like putting all the Christmas away. As much as I love decorating for Christmas and all the magic and the time with the kids, I feel such a sense of when it's all gone. Because my house can get back to normal. It always seems cleaner afterwards because you take down the tree, you clean underneath it, like everything just gets refreshed. So let's go, and I'm going to take you along with me. So we're starting by getting all of these resale boxes out of the house. We are at the landing at the top of my stairs. It's where I keep things that I'm going to donate. There's a little bookshelf with the kids' books in it, and it's a catch-all area. And as you can see, I've filled it with resale boxes, which have spilled into my bedroom. And yes, my dresser is quite filled with stuff too, but we're not going to be dealing with that just quite yet. There is a lot of clutter in here, and most of it is resale business related. It's time to just get it out of here. I'm going to feel much better once it's all in storage, and we can utilize this space for the boys' new drum set and piano that Santa brought them for Christmas. So that was the extra motivator to get this space cleared out, because I want it to be for them. And it's easier for me to do stuff if it's for the kids rather than just for myself. So I'm just going through every single box and deciding if it's something that can go to the storage unit or if it's something that I need to keep here at home. Some of the stuff is earmarked for live sales in the near future. So those things I needed to keep here in my office, which I will admit, after doing this project, my office has gotten even worse, but that's to be expected. You know, things sometimes always get worse before they get better. Blake is also here on the side, taking the boxes down. He was loading them up into the truck and then took them over to the storage unit for me. So big props to Blake for helping. It was a lot of up and down the stairs, lifting heavy things, carrying boxes. It's a lot of physical work. And I think sometimes that gets left out of these videos. We were both very exhausted at the end of this. Here I am in the bedroom, just going through a couple of these boxes. I will let you know I did not get rid of all of these. You will see me handling the rest of these boxes in a later video. Some of them stayed here because we were out of room in the truck and the storage unit needs to get massively reorganized to fit anything else in it. Now, let me know if anybody else does this. When you have even one small patch of carpet revealed, I put the Roomba on to start cleaning the carpet. For me, when the carpet has little bits of things on it and you're walking around on it, it's absolutely aggravating. And even having a small amount of the carpet vacuumed makes a huge difference for me, just mentally. Like, oh, okay, this area is clean now, even though it's really not. And I will say the Roomba vacuum doesn't work great. It's more of a sweeper than an actual vacuum. But look at this. It's clean. The whole area is cleaned out. It's amazing. So now we're going to start with the home tour. We will go back up to the landing eventually, but I thought at this moment it's a good time to take a break and show you what we're dealing with. This is the view from our front door. This little landing area here is a total dumping ground. It's where everybody just explodes when they walk through the front door. To the right here is my office and a bathroom. This is what I call the boys' bathroom. It's where Blake takes a shower. I shower and the boys shower upstairs. But this is the bathroom that gets used the most by the boys on the daily and just anybody that comes to our house. This is the downstairs bathroom. So we had cleaned it for Christmas, but obviously it's already getting cluttered again. Now, this shower sucks. You can see that our landlords had painted the old tile and the paint is chipping off. The same thing is happening to the upstairs bathroom. It's absolutely annoying. It's one of those things that as a renter, it drives me crazy. And they're not going to fix it. They don't care. It's cosmetic. It's not something that really needs to be repaired. So we're just living with it, but it's very frustrating. Behind this tower of reselling boxes is our linen closet, which is absolutely stuffed, packed to the brim, can't fit one more single thing in there. And the lower cabinet also has reselling stuff in it. I will be getting to that quite soon. I think that's the next video, is going through the linen closet. Here's my office of despair. Blake is playing some video games while I'm filming this, and it's absolutely just as insane and out of control as you could imagine from me talking about it. There's a lot going on in here. This is where I'm just shoving everything for temporary purposes. There's Christmas bins in here. It's where I was hiding Christmas presents from people. It's just where we've been shoving everything during the holidays to make our living room more livable. It's going to be a multi-day, maybe week process to clear all this out. And really, I'm going to have to do it just a little bit at a time because I still need to use this space. So it's going to be a whole thing. Now to continue the tour through the living room, this is Brody's art desk, which is also insane. Eventually, I'm hoping to make space for arts and crafts in the office, but we'll see if that ever happens. Here's one area of the house that I have already organized. Right after Christmas, I took every single thing out of this closet, and Brody helped me sort through all of his toys. The little angel darling boy helped me because it's mostly his stuff, and he was able to get rid of 2 giant garbage bags filled with toys that we donated to the thrift store. So that project is kind of the thing that kickstarted all of this, and I didn't film it, but you get to see the after, which obviously it's very organized and nice in there. Throughout the rest of the house, there are lots of Christmas presents, Christmas decorations. There's sort of just little piles of things everywhere. We have the new piano and drum set, more toys, and Christmas tree, and just all the stuff sitting out from Christmas and New Year's still. We have the s'mores maker still on the kitchen table and all of the Christmas cards that we got from people. There's just a lot of things. There's just a lot of visual clutter all over the whole house. Even Brody's little projects up on the wall. This corner of our little dining area is where we keep all of the board games, and that needs a whole little overhaul. So I'll definitely be filming when I go through that. This is a box of Corelle plates that I had upstairs that we're actually going to wash and use for our dinnerware from now on. The kitchen is horrible. The grout is disgusting. The pantry is packed to the brim and very disorganized, hard to find anything. The upper area is just as bad, and that's even harder to reach stuff because it's up so high. The dishes are always like this. I'm not going to lie and say that we ever have a clean sink. The kitchen is small. It's really old. There's nothing we can do about the size or the layout. Here is the whole square footage. You can see it fits all in one camera view here. That's the whole square footage of the whole kitchen. So it's small, it's horrible, but I know that if I declutter it and get it functioning more properly and not having everything just sort of jammed who knows where, it'll at least function better and it'll be less infuriating. But there's nothing we can really do about how ugly it is or how old it is or just how bad the space is because we don't own this place and they're not going to give us a new kitchen, let's be honest. This is our coffee bar area. It used to be pretty well organized, but it's also become kind of a catch-all place where we just sort of dump everything. Inside the cupboards, there's definitely some stuff that needs to be gone through and probably purged. But there are baskets. An attempt was made at organizing this area. Another view of the countertops, this sort of upper counter, is actually the one part of the kitchen that we like. The countertop is nice there, but it's a catch-all. This area right as we walk into the lounge is right next to the garage door. So again, it's just a dumping ground. Stuff that needs to go outside in the garage or to the trash gets piled up here. And this is a pile of papers and kids stuff, like kids artwork and things that I just need to go through and haven't. This is also Blake's record room. As you can see, obviously, we call this Daddy's Lounge or Blake's Lounge. It's just a mess. There's all sorts of different stuff here. There's reselling stuff here. There's far too much collection in here. I myself am very guilty of just putting my stuff in here when I need to move it from wherever I'm working. We do have some really nice pieces, really nice collectibles, and obviously Blake's collection of records and reel-to-reel tapes is massive, but when this area is clean and organized, it's a very nice, peaceful, warm, relaxing place to be, and we really want to get it back to that place so that Blake has a really nice place to sit again and listen to his records and have a glass of scotch at the end of the night. You know, it's hard being a teacher. He needs a room that's relaxing. The laundry room is adjacent to the lounge, and it's essentially just a closet, like a deep sort of a walk-in closet where the washer and dryer is. I have a couple of shelves up here, and I was going for like a cute retro laundry room kind of decor thing. I have redecorated and organized this area once before, and I do have footage of it. I actually recorded it the first time I cleaned out and decorated this laundry room. I just never posted it anywhere. So maybe when I get to the laundry room again, this time I will show you the old footage of me redecorating it the first time. So now we're walking back out of the lounge and heading to the garage, which is always hard to get to because there's always a pile of boxes that need to be broken down and put into the dumpster outside, which is nice. It's conveniently located right outside of our garage, but as you can see, when I finally fumble around to get the light on, it is very packed in here. This is Blake's tinkering area where he has his tools and broken audio equipment that he likes to try to repair. And oh man, where do we even start? There used to be a little bit of a path so we could walk all the way through, but stuff has just been getting shoved. We've got bikes in the way, lots of storage, lots of old audio gear and speakers and things that I have no idea what Blake even intends to do with. This area used to be my favorite part of the garage. It's where I had all of my cleaning supplies, and it was so lovely and organized so well, but over time, it's just gotten a mess, and it's hard to get to because Blake has lots of stuff in front of it. This is also where we kept the small appliances like crock pots and things that didn't fit in the kitchen, so getting this area cleaned out and organized again is a huge priority for me. Now we're working our way back to the front door. You get to see another angle of all the piles of messes of things. This little hall tree situation here definitely needs a revamp. It's not functioning the way that I need it to. It was a good idea at the beginning, but now it definitely needs to be overhauled. Here are the ugly holes in the wall that have been there for roughly 3.5 years. That used to be where our baby gate was mounted to the wall. I'm going to pick up a few things as we walk up the stairs because there are some stuffed animals that have already trickled their way into the clean landing, so I'm trying to keep it clean. We are now in the boys' room. There are just 2 bedrooms upstairs and the bathroom and the landing. The boys' room I have also redecorated once before and organized quite well. Their closet isn't a disaster. It just gets messy in here, and I think there's more I can do to sort of fix the clutter. I'm trying to show you in the corner of that closet. It's just nothing. So they have a lot of space still. Not a lot needs to be done in there, but I do want to fix the plushy stuffed animal situation because that's definitely the problem area of their bedroom. They don't have a good spot to keep all of their plushies. They had this net above their TV, but they have way more plushies than can fit up there. And Brody does play with them all the time. So it's not a matter of getting rid of a ton of them. There's probably some we can get rid of, but for the most part, it just needs to be organized and utilized better. Now back out to the landing. This built-in bookshelf is actually quite nice, but we tend to just put stuff on here in front of the books. so it doesn't stay looking nice for long. Next to it is a built-in cabinet. This would be a second linen closet, I guess, except the shelves are not very deep. So storing towels in here is a little tricky, but we do have some. I also have medicine and cleaning supplies, back stock of candles and bath products. There's just a mix of everything in here. Now into the bathroom. Here is where I'm going to say, please just remember in the comments to be kind. We don't like living this way. The bathtub is gross. There is mold growing underneath the mat. It needs to be addressed. It's disgusting. There's lots of clutter in here. It's not clean. This towel bar drives me absolutely insane because who wants to fold their towels and store them literally touching the toilet or behind the toilet, like draped behind the toilet? So I put the towels hanging from the back of the door. This bathroom's gross, and I admit it, and we don't like living this way. So just please remember that and be kind to me in the comments. Don't tell me how disgusting I am, because I already know. Now back out into the hallway and walking towards our bedroom. Like I said, the upstairs is small. It's just the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom and that landing area. So here's our master bedroom, if you want to call it that. It's just slightly bigger than the boys' room. The boys love hanging out in my bed, so sometimes their toys trickle in here as well, but mostly this is just our clutter. On my dresser, I have a mix of all sorts of stuff. A lot of reselling items are on here because I was taking pictures on my dresser, and stuffed animals and books. You will see I have piles of pictures that need to be hung on the wall, just stacked all over this room. My drawers are pretty crammed full, which is unfortunate because I do love my bedroom furniture. It's vintage, it's in great shape, and I feel like we're not honoring it the way we should. Here you can see again more piles of pictures that need to be hung on the wall. We literally never hung up artwork once we moved in here, so it's a project that I haven't gotten to. This dresser has Blake's folded clothes, and it's kind of a mess. Giant laundry pile. This is where I have been keeping all of my clothes lately. I haven't even been putting them away in the closet. I don't even try. So clearly that needs to be addressed. Here I'm trying to show how dirty our screens are. I'm not really sure what I can do about that. Over here I have the fan because I get the night sweats, so that's not going anywhere. I have a book problem, clearly. There are piles of books in my room, on my dresser. My nightstand is also filled with books. I barely read hardly any books all year long, but I have tons of books. I want to be able to read more, but I just simply don't make the time for it. So that's part of a problem here. This pile is super aggravating. This is Blake's dirty laundry. In the hamper is his clean laundry and all of his just rubble. Again, there's more pictures just leaning up in a stack on the side of the nightstand. Blake's nightstand is also a disaster. He leaves that drawer open as if it's like some sort of a shelf or something. That kind of infuriates me. Here's the closet. The outside of the closet is disgusting. There are literal dust bunnies falling from the ceiling, so clearly it's dirty as well as cluttered because I can't really even get over here to get anything in and out of the closet. It's just not functioning well. It is packed in here. I know there's a lot of clothes that I can declutter. I am not sentimental about clothes. I don't really care about clothes. I wear t-shirts and yoga pants just about every single day, so the fact that I have all of these clothes is pretty ridiculous. So the closet redo will be a fun one. And here we are again back out at the landing. So we've done the whole home tour, just showing this bookshelf that has the kids' books on it, which does need to get sorted through and reorganized a little bit. Here's the view of the downstairs from the upstairs, and that's the whole shebang. So now we're going to be bringing up the musical instruments and putting them where I want them. I think this is a nice little use of this empty space that we have up here now. Ultimately, I would like to move the bookshelf somewhere else and have this just be the music area. I was thinking maybe the bookshelf could go in their bedroom somewhere. We'll see once everything's decluttered and sorted out. It might take a little bit of creative thinking to find a new home for all of the books. Looks like the musical instruments fit here nicely, and now it's time to sort of get the room back the way it's supposed to be and take down Christmas. Which, again, don't get me wrong, I love Christmas and I love decorating for Christmas and I love seeing all my vintage Christmas things out of storage, but I do look forward to putting it back away, getting the house reset back to normal. Everything sort of seems cleaner and less cluttered when the Christmas is gone. So it does feel nice to get it all put away and clean up all of the areas left behind after the Christmas is put away. Right now I am taking down all of my vintage ornaments. These are from about the 40s and 50s, some older, some newer. I got this new to me vintage ornament tree this year and I absolutely loved it. And it was a cool way to display all of my vintage ornament collection, but taking it down and putting it up is a little bit time consuming and tedious, but still it was nice to have this up while it lasted. It was my new thing this year as far as Christmas decor. I did not take out all of my Christmas decorations this year, so having something new and fun to look at was nice because I just very much got behind this year when it came to decorating for Christmas and just never fully committed and never really got everything up. So it was nice having something new and interesting to look at since I didn't have all that many decorations up this year. Now this area is all back to normal and looking real good. I think all I need now is a plant in my planter because I did kill the one that I had in there earlier this year. I also killed the poinsettia I put in there at Christmas time because I suck at keeping plants alive. Now on to the Christmas tree. Now that the tree is put away, I get to do my favorite chore, which is vacuuming. And no, I'm not being sarcastic right now, although it kind of sounded like I was. I actually really do love vacuuming. Out of all the different chores there are to keep a house clean, vacuuming is my favorite. It's not super messy. I don't have to get my hands all gooey or use cleaning sprays that give me asthma or anything like that. Although I do get a reaction to the dust every now and then because I am just an allergy prone person. But I love how instantly better everything looks when you vacuum. I vacuumed up all of the pine needles or the fake pine needles that were left behind by our artificial Christmas tree. I moved the cat tree back in front of the window, but everything's vacuumed and clean, and it's so much nicer to have a nice clean floor and more space to walk around. It's much more spacious in here once the tree is gone and the cat tree is back in front of the window again. It's quite cramped when we have the tree set up, but it's worth it for temporary Christmas time purposes. And the cats are so happy to have their cat tree by the window. It's their favorite spot, so they were thanking me. Now to take down these wreaths, which was a very pathetic little attempt at decorating. Like I said, I'd never ended up fully committing to decorating this year. And now I'm taking down all of my Swedish Christmas decorations. I set this little area up with some of my Swedish stuff and red and green and blue swung vases and lucite candles. Again, this is all vintage stuff, and it was my little ode to my Swedish heritage this year. But I was looking forward to setting up my glass rainbow again, and I sort of dusted everything as I set them back down on this console table. But my vases are in need of a good wash. They're ready for their annual baths. I don't know when I'm going to get to that because obviously I'm on this declutter mission first, but they really shine once I clean them all up properly with soap and water. I am working on this mirror. I don't know that I have ever cleaned the shadow box mirror except for when I first got it, and it was desperately in need of some good old spray away and some elbow grease. And it got nice and shiny, and I was able to bring back out my little pelican collection that I have because the boys' school mascot is the pelican. So I started collecting these pelican figurines, I think around the time Bo started going to elementary school. And now that they're both at that school, it's appropriate, I think. And the kids like them too. And they have a little fight song that they sing. And they like looking at the pelicans and chanting their little school pride song. So that's a fun little thing kind of for them. Here I am just putting away all this stuff that I just took down from that area, and the wreaths, they all go in this storage tote, and these work out really nicely, and it is all nice and organized and labeled. These go into the garage. It's just that we have too much stuff in the garage, making it a little impossible to really access properly. And it's just hard every time we have to get a bin out because you got to move 18 things just to be able to access the bins in the first place. Now it is actually a new day and I am cleaning off the kitchen table. Please excuse my absolutely slovenly appearance. I had just done yoga in the living room and I was super hot. I did not want to put a sweatshirt on yet or anything. It does end up getting much colder quite quickly, so you'll see me in the next scene. I have a big fuzzy sweatshirt on, but right now I was sweating and I was hot. Brody was helping me a little bit. I'm handing some things to him. We're just clearing off this table. This is one of my goals this year, is to keep our dining table clean and clutter free. This is a dumping ground. It's a place I set things, especially for my reselling business. If I'm taking pictures of stuff, it's just an area that stuff accumulates. And I want to keep our table clean so that we can actually eat together as a family. That's something that is really important to me that we haven't been doing. It's kind of like clear off a corner for the boys to eat their food, and Blake and I just eat at our desks or in the bedroom. So keeping the table clean is a very big priority for me this year. And look at how nice it looks when it's all done. Like, it's definitely worth the effort to keep it clean. Now I am putting away the very last of the Christmas items, or at least what I thought was the last of the Christmas items. There's always some stragglers that hang out and you find months later like, oh yeah, I never put this away. But this is a bin where I was keeping all of the Christmas linens. So I have been piling them here on the ottoman, and now I am just going to put them all away, and then eventually we will put the bins back into the garage. But Blake had to do some garage decluttering there, so it took a little while, like everything. It's a chain reaction. So you try to fix one thing in one side of the house and then it just makes a mess in the other. But we did it, and we got all of the Christmas put away, and everything is just so much nicer around here now. And now you get to see us actually enjoying the fruits of our labor. Nobody comment on how many onions I have on my spaghetti, okay? Right? Like, let me live my life. Blake made spaghetti sauce. It was cooking all day while we were doing this, and it smelled delicious. So we got to sit down at the end of a long, hard day of decluttering and enjoy some garlic bread and spaghetti and red wine. Everything tasted wonderful, but mostly it was just wonderful to be able to sit at a clean table as a family and have a meal. So here are the before and afters of this entire decluttering, putting away Christmas project. The whole house was involved here, and there will be more to come. This is just the beginning. This was just the sort of preliminary steps I had to take, and now we can go room by room and really dive into some serious decluttering projects. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you will subscribe and follow along this journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.